esteemed panelists, participants, and members of the organizing committee. A very warm welcome to the valedictory ceremony of the third edition of PCGT Conclave 2025, jointly organized by Public Concern for Governance Trust, PCGT, D.Y. Patil School of Law, in collaboration with KES Jayantilal H. Patel College, Advocate Parasaheb Apte College of Law, St. Andrews College, and V Compass Juris Private Limited. Over the past 3 days, this conclave has provided an extensive platform for academic engagement, student participation, and intellectual discourse through various competitions and events. More than 250 participants have been part of this initiative, contributing to debates, research discussions, and policy dialogues focused on governance, law, and emerging technologies, all related to artificial intelligence and ethics. To introduce PCGT, Public Concern for Governance Trust, PCGT, is a registered trust founded in 2002 by Mr. Julio Ribeiro Sir, Dr. R.K. Anand Sir, and late Mr. B.G. Deshmukh Sir, to increase public participation and activism towards creating a more transparent and efficient governance system. In order to sensitize and mentor the youth in ethical values with an emphasis on good governance, PCGT started the Youth for Governance, that is the YFG program, in the year 2012, and the leadership projects under YFG in the year 2019. PCGT also works on RTI awareness and training, as well as imparting values in school students through Kuch Aur programs. We take this opportunity to also acknowledge the leadership of Mr. D. Shivanandan Sir, Chairman PCGT, whose commitment to governance reforms has been instrumental in shaping PCGT's impact over the years. To formally commence the valedictory session, I now invite Mr. V.P. Raja Sir, retired IS officer and trustee of PCGT, to deliver the welcome address. Sir has guided us since the very first edition of the conclave and has also played an instrumental role in deciding the theme of the conclave this year. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Harshita, for your kind introductory words. We are really honored to have amongst us Honorable Justice Madan Lokur. He has always supported PCGT in various ways. In fact, in the past, he has also was the Chief Justice at one of the National Youth Parliament events. Again, he was our chief guest for a Constitution Day celebration, as well as a constitution training program or course, which we used to conduct periodically. Justice Lokur has been one of the well-wishers and mentors of PCGT for a long time. I don't know whether Mr. Ribeiro has joined, otherwise he'll be joining us a little later, because he's to give the address at the end of the day. He's the chairman emeritus of PCGT. We recognize the presence of Mr. Sivanandan, Dhanushkodi Sivanandan, and Dhanushkodi is the last town connecting India to Sri Lanka. So whenever I hear Mr. Sivanandan, I am always reminded of his place of birth, Dhanushkodi, which is just, if you cross the Ram Setu, you come to Lanka, so to say. We are very happy, sir, that you two are here. I also recognize Rekha Sani, who has been working really, really hard for PCGT with full commitment. Now, I wonder whether any other trustees here, I'm on a gallery mode, can't read all the names in small print, but we are happy that our trustees, many of our trustees are here. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of various colleges who have collaborated with us in this 3-day AI ethics programs. In particular, Dr. Karuna Akshaya Malavya of D.Y. Patil University, Mrs. Vaishali Gurau of Balasaheb Apte College of Law, Dr. Viral Dave, Principal of KES Jayantilal Patel Law College, and Professor Vinita Nair, who is the Program Officer of NSS Unit at St. Andrews College. As has already been brought out, last 3 days, 14th, 15th, and 16th, there have been a large number of programs involving essay writing competitions, debates, panel discussions. On 14th, there was a debate competition in collaboration with Jayantilal Patel Law College. On 15th, there was an intercollegiate Model United Nations in collaboration with Balasaheb Apte College. On 16th, after going through a long prior procedure, there was an essay writing competition. So there have been a lot of activities. And the beauty is all these activities have been kind of conducted by an organizing committee consisting of students themselves. Students from various colleges, our campus ambassadors and lead ambassadors, all mentored a lot by our chief student ambassador, Vedant Vaishali Jayant, and by Dr. Shivam, our Shivam Jain Kakadia. They have been the so-called orchestra leaders conducting the entire orchestra with the involvement of a large number of students who have participated. Now, the subject was basically AI, and we are all waiting to hear Justice Lokur on the subject. I'd like to mention only two issues which comes to my mind whenever I think of AI or reflect on it. One is a philosophical issue which comes to my mind, and that is ever since the dawn of history, every piece of new knowledge or skill has either been used for the good of mankind, that is, some people use it for the good of mankind, and some people abuse it. So every skill and knowledge is capable of use as well as abuse. My own analysis of that is that human beings have these two sides of the brain, the left side and the right side. While the left side creates all analytic abilities and everything we learn in the STEM subjects, it is the right side which gives wisdom, how to act finally, which depends a lot on philosophy, poetry, literature, ethics, your own value systems of how you have been brought out. So that problem continues. One can give tons of examples where a new skill coming up gets abused. Most recently, the internet has substantially been abused by the abusers in the form of making it a surveillance state, so to say. Invasive surveillance business model became the so-called most important thing of the internet, even though the internet is obviously of great use to mankind and all of us use it. Now, that is one set of philosophical issues, which I think we'll need to face. That's not going to vanish. There will be people who abuse the system. Yes, second thing which worries me whenever I think of AI is the ownership. That is, at the end, everything we do in AI is dependent on the computing infrastructure of the big tech, of organizations like Microsoft, Amazon, or Google. I think sometime last November, if I remember from memory, people may be aware of this OpenAI saga, when things suddenly went bust. But finally, it was found it was a way Microsoft was exerting pressure in a quiet but firm dominance way over the capped profit entry. That is, they allow certain people to work, but they can't do exactly what they want. They're very much under the control of the big tech. So the monopolies have always been a problem in economics, but the super monopolies like Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, at the end, those with money make the rules also. So this kind of concentrated power in the hands of super monopolies is a problem. And I am not able to think of a solution to this problem. Like the invasive surveillance business model led to Pegasus, which is being abused by a lot of governments. Everybody is aware of the Cambridge Analytica scandal, which started interfering with elections in various countries. And now everybody wants a super data center because supercomputing power. And in a peculiar way, one of the reasons, of course, the reasons being made for the nuclear to come back in energy is climate change. But another major reason is these big tech companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, they want enormous power for the data centers to create super AI models. And they want baseload power. They can't manage with just renewable or something. So one of the reasons why there is a lot of push from the big money, super tech companies for a revival of nuclear, one of this is this. So to summarize, these are the two issues: the ethical issue, which will continue, and the fact that the AI model also empowers the already rich, the so-called super monopolies of the world. And I'm not able to see a method by which it can get. And this obviously impacts not only ethics, it impacts democracy. It impacts the way we have been used to governing ourselves. I think these are the principal points that come to my mind. I'm looking forward to Justice Lokur also to react to some of these points. I'm just a student otherwise. I'm not an expert in any of these subjects. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure. I'll continue to be sitting here to listen to Justice Lokur till the end of the program, and also to our Mr. Ribeiro, our emeritus chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I now invite our convener, Dr. Advocate Shvam Kakadia, sir, to introduce our esteemed chief guest.
Thank you, Harshita. It is an absolute privilege and honor to introduce our chief guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Madan Bhimrao Lokur, a distinguished jurist and former judge of the Supreme Court of India and Supreme Court of Fiji, renowned for his significant contributions to Indian jurisprudence, particularly in the areas of human rights, environmental law, and social justice. Born in December 1953, Sir pursued a degree in history from the prestigious St. Stephen's College and later obtained his law degree from the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. Sir began his legal career as an advocate in 1977, therefore being in the legal profession for almost half a century, specializing in constitutional law, administrative law, and service law. He was appointed as an advocate on record at the Supreme Court of India in 1981 and served as standing counsel for the central government and various public sector undertakings. In 1999, Sir was appointed as an additional judge of the Honorable Delhi High Court, becoming a permanent judge in the year 2000. He later served as the Chief Justice of the Honorable Guwahati High Court in 2010 and the Honorable Andhra Pradesh High Court in the year 2011. Sir's tenure in these positions was marked by his efforts to enhance access to justice and improve judicial functioning. In 2012, Sir was elevated to the Honorable Supreme Court of India, where he served until his retirement as a judge in December 2018. His time on the Honorable Supreme Court bench was marked by several landmark judgments on environmental protection, child rights, police reforms, and social justice. Notably, Sir was a part of a bench addressing the air pollution crisis in Delhi and the National Capital Region, and he played a crucial role in establishing the Juvenile Justice Committee in the Honorable Supreme Court, which focused on the protection and welfare of the children in conflict with law. To personally add, I met Sir in 2015 at the Juvenile Justice Supreme Court, the conference that was organized at the Maharashtra Judicial Academy in collaboration with UNICEF, where Sir had first delivered an address about the impact of the new juvenile justice laws which were passed in 2015. After Sir's retirement, the Honorable Justice Lokur continued his judicial service internationally. In 2019, Sir was appointed as a judge of the non-resident panel of the Supreme Court of Fiji. This role highlights his recognition as a jurist of international standing, extending his influence and expertise to the broader Commonwealth. Sir's recent appointment as the chairperson of the United Nations Internal Justice Council underscores the high regard in which he is held globally and his ongoing commitment to the rule of law beyond India's borders. His work continues to inspire the legal community and beyond. And Raja Sir has already mentioned this, that Sir has been our guidance here, our mentor for PCGT, has been the chief guest of our National Youth Parliament, the keynote speaker on our Constitution Day program for our Constitution cause. And once again, we are grateful to have you on board, sir. Thank you so much. And over to you, sir, for your address.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Shiva. Mr. VP Raja, Mr. Shivanandan, Ms. Rekha Shahani, and the other trustees of PCGT, in fact, the entire PCGT team that is over here, and all the distinguished participants. As far as I'm concerned, it's always a pleasure to be a part of the PCGT programs. I think it's very important. It's very important that governance, takes center stage, and the kind of programs that you've been having over the years, ethics today on AI, and several other issues that you've had over the years. I think it's very, very important, and I hope it is contributing to better governance and more ethical governance in the country. Today, I would like to talk about the use of artificial intelligence in the legal profession. That's the legal profession, in fact, is one of the pillars of our constitution. The judiciary, which comes from the legal profession, the lawyers, the litigants who are a part of an important part of the legal system, and of course, judges. But before going into that, I would just like to give a brief introduction about the kind of progress that has been made by the judiciary and by the legal profession, particularly by the judiciary, in computerization of courts, and what is the impact that it has had. Now, you see, the Supreme Court had an e-committee to look into the issues pertaining to computerization of courts. And one of the first steps, of course, was to educate people on how to use computers, to give computers to the judges so that their work could be carried out more efficiently. And, it would, if there were some mistakes that were being made in typing and so on, that could all be done on a word processor. So the idea initially was to assist the judges in their functioning and to make them more efficient through the use of computers. But later on, it became somewhat litigant-centric, that after all, it is for the benefit of litigants that we need an efficient judiciary. So what is the point of, a case being filed by a litigant and he doesn't know when he's going to get justice and so on? So really the focus shifted that, and it became litigant-centric. And one of the very important developments that took place was the establishment of something called the National Judicial Data Grid, NJDG. Now, the NJDG actually gives information, statistical information of all the cases that are pending across the country, in all the district courts, in all the high courts, and of course, the Supreme Court. That developed into, giving information about the cases, not just numbers, but information, that is to say, what was the order that was passed in my case. So what used to happen earlier was that the lawyer would argue the case, and he would leave the court maybe to attend to some other case, and the litigant would not understand what has happened in this case. So he would go to some court official and say that what has happened in my case, what is the next date, and so on. And there were complaints received that the court official would ask for a small token, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, depending upon the nature of the case, and then give the information to the litigant. So this, was actually a governance issue, because it is actually corruption, bribery. So the National Judicial Data Grid then began to give information about the case. What is the order that has been passed in your case? So that was the second stage. The third stage, which is very, very important, and we have not been able to achieve that as yet, is the analysis of the information that is given through the National Judicial Data Grid. So you can say that, well, in a particular high court or in a particular district court, there are so many hundred or so many thousand cases that are pending. What is the nature of those cases? Are they similar? Do they come under the same subject category? That is to say, for example, you could have, a violation of a contract, for example. So how many cases are there pending about violation of a contract in a particular court? So this kind of, data and this kind of analysis today is being done mechanically, in the sense that I can sit down with a sheet of paper, go through the website, go through the National Judicial Data Grid, and say, well, these are the kind of cases in which event I'll have to look through the entire list of cases to find out which one deals with contract, which one deals with a motor accident, which one deals with a criminal offense, what is the nature of the criminal offense, and so on. That is something which, is being done physically, mechanically by researchers. Now, AI or artificial intelligence actually plays a very, very important role in this, because through AI, that analysis can be done in a very short while. And then you can understand what is the problem that is facing the judiciary, in the sense, why is it taking so much of time to decide a particular case? So through AI, actually, you can find out, there are 300 cases pending relating to breach of contract. What is the nature of the breach of contract? Perhaps it may take a more sophisticated program from AI to find out what is the nature of the breach. But you have a broad category, contract, and you have a subcategory, breach of contract. Now, all this can then be clubbed together, and perhaps, in a quick manner, it may quick in the sense of maybe a year or maybe 2 years, all these 300 cases which are relating to breach of contract can be taken care of. So AI can play an extremely important role in the management of the judiciary, in the management of cases, so that justice is delivered to the litigants at a fast pace. Now, unfortunately, we have not reached that situation. But I think it is very important, and the judiciary must take steps. And to an extent, some steps have been taken. Artificial intelligence committees have been set up in the high courts. But coming up with a software or coming up with a program that can deliver results in this analysis is not easy. It's going to take time. But the effort has begun, and I'm sure it will yield results. So we can see a great change in the justice delivery system over the next couple of years. So this is really, how it can help the judiciary. Now, what has been happening in the recent past, so far as the entire legal profession is concerned, is searching for case law. So when you have a problem, what are the precedents that have been delivered by the courts? How has the Supreme Court dealt with a particular legal issue? How has the High Court of Bombay dealt with a particular legal issue? How has the Delhi High Court dealt with a particular legal issue? Is the decision of the Delhi High Court similar to the Bombay High Court, or is there a difference? If there is a difference, what is the difference? All this is being done physically or mechanically. So you have now got, over the last maybe about 7 or 8 years, or maybe 10 years, programs have been developed which can help you to find out cases on a particular topic through the use of the search word. That's a form of artificial intelligence, but a very rudimentary form of artificial intelligence. Where you want to find out breach of contract, you type out breach of contract, and the database will be searched by the computer, and they will say that, well, these are the cases that have been decided by Bombay High Court, these are the cases decided by Delhi High Court, these are the cases decided by Supreme Court. And then the person who is wanting to find out that information will have to go through all those cases to find out, which is the one which is more appropriate as far as my case is concerned. So you can put in another search word, another keyword, and you can have an advanced search. This is, a progressive sort of AI, but nevertheless, it will still take time. Today, what is actually happening is that through AI, you can look at the case law on a particular subject very, very rapidly. Now, there are some, in fact, almost every database will have a password. It's not that I can just go there and search for the password, because the person who has created that database, the company that has created it, has obviously spent a lot of time and money and energy to create that database. So I have to subscribe to it. I have to make some payment, and I will have access to that. Now, AI can actually have a global search from the court database, which is free. There's no payment for that. There's no subscription for that. AI can actually have a look at the entire database of the court. It may take 5 minutes, it may take 10 minutes, but it can do it and come to the answer. So to some extent, many of these databases, they're very good. I have no dispute on that. But over a period of time, they will start becoming redundant because AI will take over. What has also happened, which is a little alarming, and that's where, ethics also comes in. Two things actually have happened. One is this Yuval Noah Harari has mentioned in one of his articles that when you find out, when you know the password and you say that, yes, this is what the password is, and you feed in the password, sometimes the database will ask you, are you a robot? And you're supposed to say, no, I'm not a robot, and it will allow you to get into it. But artificial intelligence has gone to the level where the robot, that is the computer, will give a false answer. And when the question is asked, are you a robot? The computer will say, no, I'm not a robot. Okay. And there's no way of checking it. And then the computer can access the database. Now, this is ethically wrong, because now artificial intelligence has now reached a level where the robot can actually give a false reply. That can create a huge problem. That is one issue that I would like to flag on that. It doesn't really affect us so much in one sense, But the other issue is very, very important, and that happened in the United States, where there was a case that was going on. And in the United States, also in India, you give a brief of the case. The lawyers prepare a brief of the case and they give it to the judge, which is sort of supplementing the oral submissions that they make. And the judge takes a decision on the basis of the oral submissions and the written brief. Now, in the written brief that was given by one of the lawyers, there was a reference to some cases pertaining to the airlines. There were some cases which were cited over there. And the lawyer for the other side had been doing cases for airlines for many, many years. In fact, that was his specialization. And he was surprised to see about these cases. I think, if I remember correctly, there were 3 of them that were cited. And he was a little surprised that, I've been doing work for the airlines for the last so many years. I've dealt with so many cases. And how is it that I haven't come across, these 3 cases? So he got his team of associates. All of them began to look for these 3 cases to find out how did they, first of all, miss it? And secondly, what do the cases actually have to say? And in spite of a huge search, they could not locate these cases. So they told the judge that, we're not able to find these cases. We've done a huge search, or the entire team has done a search, but we're not able to find these cases. So can the lawyer for the other side give us the details so that, we know where it is referred, and then we can have a look at it and give an answer if there's a possible answer to that. The other lawyer then admitted. He said, I had asked ChatGPT or one of these AI programs, and they have prepared this for me. So I have actually not seen those cases, but because ChatGPT said, and the document has come before me, I have filed it before the court. So he confessed to the fact that he had not seen those cases, and this was done through AI. Then it was discovered that actually these cases don't exist. And the AI program had manufactured these cases. Now, please see how serious this is. You trust AI. You say that, well, this is what AI has told me, so it must be correct. I have no way of finding out whether it is not correct. But then later on, when a situation like this arises, you know that AI has misled you. And AI, in that sense, had manufactured these cases as if they exist somewhere and which can be used during the course of arguments. So this is a huge, huge ethical problem, because for my convenience as a lawyer, for my convenience as a judge, for my convenience as a litigant, I may go to AI, have AI do the research for me, and AI may give me a wrong answer. How do I find out whether it's the wrong answer or not the correct answer? It may give me a reference to a case which doesn't exist, which has been manufactured. It is called hallucinating. AI will be hallucinating and giving all kinds of responses. That raises, in my view, a very, very serious ethical issue. And we are not able to, find a solution to that, because this thing has just happened a couple of months ago, sometime last year. But this is something that we have to be very, very careful about. That is one aspect. The second aspect, and which was mentioned by our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, recently in the Paris summit that was held last week, is that of bias. Now, I first came across bias through a very interesting program that had been prepared many years ago, meaning about 15, 20 years ago, by the Australian Law Commission. And they had done it for a very small sort of a problem, namely traffic offenses. So if there is an accident, all right, you feed in the name of the person, the age of the person, whether it is male, female, What time of the day was it? What was the traffic situation at that point of time? Did that person consume alcohol? If the answer is yes, how much alcohol did he consume? What had happened immediately before the accident took place? So they had something like 30 or 35 questions that needed to be answered. And you feed in that data, and judges were doing it, the staff of the courts were doing it. They would feed in the data, and then the computer would say that, this is the range of fine that should be imposed. For example, if the range of a fine is, say, $100 to $200, that is what the law says, that an offense of this nature, the fine will be anything between $100 to $200. As a judge, what do I decide? Should I decide 100? Should I decide 200? Should I decide 150? I have to take a call on that. So I go to this, generative AI, so to speak, and say that, what is it? What are the other judges doing? And the computer will then calculate, go through the entire database, and say, well, that, out of these 30 parameters that have been fixed, I'm getting a match for about 25, 26, maybe 20. And in a situation like this, the fine that is being imposed is 140 Australian dollars. So I say, all right, if the the feeling is that $140 should be imposed as a fine, I will also impose $140 as a fine. I feel happy that, my work, my decision making, whether it should be 200, whether it should be 150, has been sorted out. 140 seems to be the range. Therefore, I'm imposing 140. But they found later on that there would be an inherent bias. I would, when deciding my case, say that, yes, all right, all the other judges say 140 is good fine imposition. But I think on the facts of this case, because this person is of such a nature, it could be racial, it could be religious, it could be anything, educated, uneducated, what kind of education, what level of education. So I say that while 140 seems to be a good number, because this person belongs to this particular category, I think I should impose a fine of $180. So I say I'm imposing a fine of $180. There are 40 other judges like me in different parts of Australia who also have this inherent bias. Okay, because like I said, there are 30 questions. So the bias could be on the ground of education. This fellow is, he's just passed high school. He's not even a graduate. Or this person belongs to a particular community. So, racial discrimination. So out of 100, 200 judges that are over there, 40 of them have this kind of a bias, which I have. And they also start imposing, they know that 140 should be the fine, but they say, no, we want to teach these kind of people a lesson. We'll impose a fine of 160, 170, 180, somebody might even say 200. So over a period of time, this bias gets reflected in the database. And the standard of 140 starts going up to 150, 160. Now, how do you check that bias? That is the problem. That, again, is a very strong ethical issue. Are you deciding punishment on the basis of the race of that person? It could be race, it could be gender. That, oh, it's a lady who's done this. Lady should be taught a lesson. Gender bias. It's not unknown. So increase the fine. So, these are ethical issues that keep arising from time to time. Now, this has an impact on justice delivery. It has an impact so far as the litigant is concerned. Okay, so we have to be careful about this. But some of the advantages that you can get, for example, through analysis of the National Judicial Data Grid, is something called a window, which I'm very much in favor of. That if I have a particular case, what is the timeline within which I, as a litigant, I have a case, what is the timeline within which the case is likely to be decided? So I have this huge database in the National Judicial Data Grid. This is the kind of case that I have, again, assuming breach of contract. How long have the cases been pending for breach of contract? Through AI, that analysis is done, maybe in a matter of a couple of minutes. The analysis is done, and I'm told that, your case, for you to get judgment, whether you succeed or not is not relevant. But for the case to be decided, for judgment to be delivered, it is going to take 3 years. I may then decide, do I want to spend 3 years in the court? Or should I just forget about it? I have suffered a loss, but it's not a great loss that I've suffered. So forget about it. I don't want to get involved in courts. I can give it up. You can have something simpler, like a landlord-tenant dispute, where the landlord wants the tenant to vacate. The tenant says, I'm not going to vacate. There's a dispute. You look at the window. Through AI, you find out that a case of this nature is going to take 8 months to get decided. You say, well, all right, I'm prepared to fight it out for 8 months. So this, is an advantage that AI can have. We've discussed some of the problems, that AI has, for example, bias. But these are some of the advantages. And as was mentioned in his opening address by Mr. Raja, everything has, plus and minuses. So, it's a movie that you must watch called Oppenheimer. He was like the father of the atom bomb. He knew that there's a problem, but he didn't know what was the magnitude of the problem or what splitting the atom could do. And when the atom bomb exploded, then he realized that, my God, what have we done? So, although splitting the atom can have great benefits, nuclear energy, but it can also have very severe adverse effects, like the explosion of an atom bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So today we are, at this crossroads where you have AI, you can use it, but it can create a problem for you, like ChatGPT has done by giving wrong cases. It can have its benefit in the sense of analysis, so that justice delivery is much faster. These are some of the ethical issues that come up. Others, in normal day-to-day life, which may have a legal connotation to some extent, is surveillance. So surveillance, it's an invasion of one's privacy. But again, it has advantages. For example, you have these closed-circuit cameras. You can identify what has happened. We've had yesterday in Delhi a lot of people, wanting to go to Kumbh Mela in Prayagraj, catching a train. There was a stampede. 18 people are said to have died. Many have been injured. They're in hospital. Why did that stampede happen? A very simplistic answer is everybody wanted to board the train. But through the use of this closed-circuit TV, which is being looked at by the police, they're trying to find out what was the exact cause. So you have crimes. There are so many crimes that have taken place on the streets. And closed-circuit TV has taken a picture of the person who has committed the crime. That person has been arrested. So you have some benefit of that, right? But at the same time, surveillance can be a huge problem to find out where is the person going, why is that person going over there. Then find out all this. medical, it can be used positively for, understanding the problem. They say that the X-ray of a person or the medical records of a person can be read by artificial intelligence, and you will know exactly what is the problem that is there with you. But at the same time, my medical records are private. I don't want anybody to know my medical records. But today, in many of these pathological laboratories, they say that, we'll give you the report. You don't even have to come to collect the report. We'll send it to you by email. And it is sent by email. My email can be hacked, and somebody will know exactly what is my medical record. It's an invasion of my privacy. So again, you have plus, you have minus. One area where I think a lot of work is being done, and somebody has written a book about this, is human trafficking. Okay, now we are today faced with a situation where people are going to the United States illegally, the so-called donkey route. They go into the United States and they're sent back as illegal immigrants. This is one aspect of one part of human trafficking. There's another part of human trafficking where children are being bought and sold. Girls are being bought and sold through the dark web. Today, you can see me when I'm speaking to you, but in the dark web, you just get a blank screen. And people are sold on that basis. There is no name, there is no image. So, the benefits that you get from a closed circuit TV, for example, are not there. The name, it's a standard name. The standard name is Raju. Who is speaking? Raju is speaking. What is his face? I don't know, because it's all blank. And this Raju, all of them, all these persons involved in trafficking are called Raju. And boys and girls are being bought and sold. How do you, catch these people? Another area, and by the way, human trafficking of children has taken enormous toll on society and enormous trauma. We've had in the recent past, bomb threats given to schools. I think a few of them were also given in Mumbai, but a large number were given in Delhi. Airlines received a very large number of bomb threats, that there's a bomb on a particular flight, done through the dark web. And it was not possible for the police to find out, and that's why this problem continued for a week or 10 days. All kinds of threats were being given. Now, if you had artificial intelligence in place and you needed a pretty sophisticated AI program, chat GPT and all that will not be able to do it. You could find out who the person is. So again, it's something that we need to think about, that how do we use artificial intelligence for something positive, something that will benefit society. Because those who are trying to destroy society through these bomb threats and so on, child trafficking and all that, today they have the upper hand. But we need to use AI in a positive manner, that this is the way to catch these people. So there are several issues which concern AI. One is, like I said, the rule of law, which is directly affecting judiciary, lawyers, litigants, and therefore society. The rule of law has to be maintained. There has to be transparency. What is the nature of the program? Can the program be tweaked to make the computer hallucinate and invent cases so that you get a judgment in your favor? Transparency is important in this regard. Accountability is important. Who is the person who has prepared this program, which enables the computer to hallucinate, which enables the computer to fabricate information, fabricate an entire case, or maybe even fabricate data in a certain situation? Who is accountable? One of the problems, again, is you have these self-driven cars where you don't have a driver, you just sit in the car and you say, this is where I want to go, and the car will take you over there. What if there's an accident? Who is accountable? So artificial intelligence is good. The use of chatbots, through generative AI, very good. I want to know, whether my flight is on time. I just have to go to a chatbot and say that, listen, is this particular flight on time? And the chatbot will say, yes, it is on time. Has my ticket been booked? Yes, it has been booked. What is my seat number? Chatbot will tell me. Generative AI, which is being used by lawyers, which is being used by litigants, which is being used by society in a variety of ways. Generative AI is harmless and beneficial to society. It helps, right? But again, you have issues of ethics. Supposing the chatbot is giving a false statement. If I say I want to leave my house, Google Maps will tell me that, well, it'll take you 40 minutes to reach the airport. I believe it, but it's a false answer. And in fact, because of a traffic jam or because of some accident that has taken place, it will take me 1 hour or 1.5 hours to reach the airport. I'll miss my flight. That's an ethical issue. So all this, is something that we have to look at. Accessibility for individuals, accessibility for individuals who are in the wrong direction, accessibility for companies, they can kill competition if they have access to information. So all these, we look at AI for the purposes of trust. I trust what is being told to me. There's a possibility of being given wrong information. I know that the information is secure. It can be hacked. What happens in a situation like that? And false information then given to me. Ethics. What about misleading information or false information? So these are a lot of issues that have been arising in AI, whether it's generative AI, whether it's AI for any other purpose. The European Union has come out with some sort of rules or guidelines. There's also an act on AI. We don't have that as yet. The Niti Aayog in India has given some kind of principles to be followed. But principles are okay. If somebody decides, I don't want to follow those principles, what do you do? So really, what is happening is good, but we have to be very careful, not only in terms of ethics, but even otherwise, to be sure that we don't go in the wrong direction. And AI doesn't take over. Otherwise, if the program is defective, if the program is misleading, there will be anarchy. And you can forget about the rule of law, because you start getting all kinds of judgments. You start judgments not only in the courts, but judgments in day-to-day life. For example, Google Maps tells me that it will take 40 minutes, whereas in fact it will take 1.5 hours to go to the airport. Google Maps will tell me that one of these programs will tell me that the flight is on time. And I go on time and I find that it's late. The flight is cancelled. So I think ethics is something that we need to think about. And I'm glad you have initiated this, PCGT has initiated this discussion. all I want to say in conclusion is that we have to be careful. It is good, right? Like nuclear fission, nuclear fusion is good, but it can be misused, it can be abused. And that's where we have to be very, very careful and not just say that, all right, AI, let's go whole hog for AI. If we go whole hog for AI without looking at ethical considerations, we're going to land into a problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your insightful words, sir. Your expertise in this sector surely helped us to look at the issue from a different angle. I now invite Vedant Vishalli Jayant Mainkar, our Chief Student Ambassador and Director of V Compass Juris Private Limited, to deliver an address on behalf of Dr. Karuna Malviya Ma'am, Honorable Director, School of Law, D.Y. Patil deemed to be University, Navi Mumbai, and Chief Advisor of V Compass Juris Private Limited. Over to you, Vedant.
Thank you very much, Harshita. Respected dignitaries, esteemed panelists, faculty members, students, and all attendees. It is my privilege to speak on behalf of Dr. Karuna Malviya Ma'am, Honorable Director D.Y. Patil School of Law, Navi Mumbai, and Chief Advisor of V Compose Juris Private Limited, who due to personal reasons is unable to join us today. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the organizers, especially PCGT, for their initiative in successfully hosting this outstanding conclave. The dedication, commitment, and intellectual engagement displayed over these past few days have made this event a significant milestone. A special thanks to Honorable Justice Madan B. Lokur, sir, for his invaluable guidance and wisdom. Sir, it has been an absolute honor to host you and your insights on AI, ethics, governance, and have added great depth to our discussions. At D.Y. Patil School of Law, Navi Mumbai, we are always committed to fostering impactful academic discussions and legal scholarship. We are privileged to have contributed to the success of this conclave and look forward to continued collaboration with PCGT, V Compos Juris, and esteemed institutions. A heartfelt appreciation to coordination by Advocate Shivam Jain Kakadia sir, Vedant, and all the student coordinators who tireless efforts have ensured seamless execution of this event. Their dedication and leadership are truly commendable. I would also like to extend my gratitude to esteemed panelists Dr. Ashok Yende sir, Dr. Swapnil Shevni sir, Dr. Abhijit Rohi sir, Advocate Nilesh Gala sir for their insightful contributions which have enriched the discussion throughout this conclave. Once again, congratulations to the entire team for putting together such a successful, impactful event. Your hard work and enthusiasm reflect promising future of legal academia and practice. Dear all, since we have received over 70 research papers and around 200 plus abstracts for the conference, it will take a time to meticulously evaluate each and every submission on subjective as well as objective grounds. We appreciate your patience and the results will be announced soon. Thank you to all the dignitaries, panelists, faculty members, students, participation for their contribution and active engagement in this conclave. Wishing you all the continued success in the endeavors. Thank you very much. Delivered on behalf of Professor Dr. Karuna Malviya Ma'am, Director D.Y. Patil School of Law.
Thank you, Vedant. I now invite Mrs. Vaishali Gurav Ma'am, Principal of Advocate Barasaheb Apte College of Law, to deliver an address and announce the winners of Model UN competition. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Harshita. Honorable Justice Lokur, sir, Mr. Raja, Mr. Ribeiro, sir, Mr. Shivanandan, Ms. Rekha Shahani, Advocate Shivam Kakadia, all the esteemed members of PCGT, my fellow principal, Dr. Viral ma'am, I believe Dr. Karuna is not present here, and Dr. Vineet Nair. My dear participants, students, and friends, it is an absolute pleasure to announce the winners of the Model UN competition, which was conducted at Advocate Barasaheb Apte College of Law yesterday on the 15th of February. Without much ado, I will announce the winners of the United Nations Human Rights Council. I will start from the special mention, then move to the high commendation, and then the best delegate. The winner of the special mention is Ayuj Menda from Ram Narayan Ruia Autonomous College for the portfolio Russia. A big round of applause. Maybe we cannot hear it, but congratulations, Ayuj Menda. The winner for the high commendation goes to Jai Malwani from Jai Hind College for Poland. Congratulations, Jai. And the winner, that is the best delegate, goes to Vedant Varshingkar of Government Law College, Mumbai for India. Heartiest congratulations to all the winners. Now, for the awards of Lok Sabha, again, I'll start with the special mention. The winner of the special mention is Dev Krishna Bhambri from Thakur Ram Narayan College of Law for the portfolio Shri Kishori Lal Sharma. The winner of the high commendation is Dibya Ranjan Swain from Pragati College for Shri Asaduddin Ovesi. And the winner for best parliamentarian goes to Ameya Ajgar, MIT WPU for Shri Piyush Goyal. A heartiest congratulations to all the winners. I take this opportunity to thank Justice Lokur sir. It was such an enlightening address. I was just in the process of writing a paper in the afternoon related to AI in legal research. And my major concern was the bias, sir, and the data privacy. This is what I'm trying to highlight in my paper, which I'm required to present on 23rd at an international conference. And I think your insights are a great help to me. It will definitely help me for my presentation. It indeed is very scary for us because as professors of law, when we read assignments, sir, we just run it through plagiarism. Everything comes out from ChatGPT. So my worry is, where are we headed? Can't we just plan and write on our own? Are we losing that sense of drafting? Is what my true concern as far as ChatGPT and AI is, generative predictive text. So I think students also should make a note that as much as you utilize artificial intelligence, be aware that you don't lose the command and control over your drafting skills and your language, is what I would like to mention here today. On that note, I once again would like to thank PCGT for providing us with this opportunity and giving us an opportunity to help and be a part of this entire conclave, and wish the winners heartiest congratulations. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Also, on behalf of my team, I would also like to wish you a very happy birthday.
Oh,
Thank you for joining us today.
thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. I now invite Dr. Viral Dave, ma'am, Principal, KS Shri Jayendilal H. Patel Law College, to announce the winners of debate competition.
Thank you, Harshita. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Thank you so much. Very pleasant evening to today's chief guest, Honorable Justice Lokur, Mr. VP Raja, Trustee PCGT, Ribeiro Sir, Chairman PCGT, Rekha Sahani ma'am, who has also visited our college and has been a great inspiration, Advocate Shivam Kakadia, esteemed principals and dear participants. At the onset, I would like to thank PCGT for giving opportunity to KSG Jaitilal Latpachel Law College to collaborate and to provide their association from past 2 years. Your association has added immense value to our organization, and the students have gained a lot of insight, especially through the internship at PCGT. I once again thank you for providing us a platform to host the debate competition as a part of PCGT Conclave 2025. We had participation from 12 teams, which included 24 participants, and it was an honor and privilege to host the event on 14th February 2025, which happens to be the Valentine's Day too. Without taking much time, I would like to announce the winners for the debate competition. The best speaker goes to team code E, that is Harnish Mehta from our college, KES Shri Jayantilal H. Patel Law College. The runner-up team goes to team code L, that is Bala Shankar and S. Vignesh from Government Law College, Trivandrum. And the best team goes to team code K, S. Siddharth and Padma S. from Government Law College, Trivandrum. I once again congratulate all the participants and thanks again to the team PCGT for providing us the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I now invite Professor Vinita Nair, NSS Program Officer from St. Andrews College, Bandra, Mumbai, to announce the winners of the essay writing competition.
Thank you, Harshita. My heartfelt namaste to all the dignitaries and the participants here. I would like to thank the PCGT for providing us with this opportunity to host the essay writing competition. It is my pleasure to announce the participants for the essay writing competition. The top 3 winners of the competition. So the third prize goes to Nathan Ribello from St. Andrews College. The second prize goes to Vibha Meshram, Advocate Balasaheb Apte College of Law. And the first prize goes to Aditya Prakash, Department of Public Policy, St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. So I would like to congratulate all the participants and the winners of this conclave. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. To formally conclude this remarkable 3-day conclave, we are privileged to have with us Padma Bhushan Mr. J.F. Ribeiro, sir, former DGP and former Ambassador of India to Romania and Chairman Emeritus of PCGT. Mr. Ribeiro has been a pioneering figure in India's law enforcement and public administration. His commitment to ethical thinking, policing, and governance and justice reforms has been widely recognized. He has played an inspiring role he has inspired the youth like us. On this note, I would like to thank him and invite to deliver the concluding remarks.
Yes.
Thank you. What is her name?
Harshita.
Harshita. I'll just say a few words about our role, PCGT role, involving students, making them more knowledgeable, thinking for themselves, being more independent, not accepting whatever artificial intelligence or other people's intelligence tell them. Use your own intelligence. But that I'll do later, because in my anxiety to speak on that subject, I might forget to thank the people whom I have to thank for making this conclave such a great success. First of all, our chief guest, Justice Lokur. He is a part of us. We consider him as a part of PCGT, because every time we ask him to participate in any of our projects, he does it very willingly, and he does it with great concentration, and he imparts his knowledge to us. I think the students also are very lucky that they have this chance to hear one of our great judges of the Supreme Court. We have had many, many judges from the time of who was that great judge in the very beginning? I think Bose, I forget now the name. I'm getting very old, as you know. And students have understood that I'm too old now to continue in this, but Shivam doesn't let me off. That is my problem. I want to also thank Justice Lokur for all that he has done for us, in the sense that we have approached him. This is the fourth time, I think, we have approached him from over these last 3 years since he has retired. And on each occasion, he has agreed and participated. And then, of course, there is Shivam, our advocate Shivam Jain Kakadia, who is our former intern. This internship program, about which I think one of the college principals spoke about, Vaishali Madam, that she's very happy with this internship program. I think internship is a part of getting a degree in law. You have to do a month with an NGO. We're very happy to have these students because we find them. We also learn from that, I can tell you, because I go for every internship program at least once during that month. And I find that they are really interested in participating, in also sharing, and we know what they are thinking of, what is important to them. And we try to channel their intelligence and their possibilities to become good citizens. That is more important than anything else. Good human beings, much more important than being a good leader, a good human being. And that is what we are concentrating on. Yesterday, our trustee, Rekha Shani, who was a former principal of a school, she held an annual day for all the students, the children in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th standard, who she interacts with throughout the year. She has about 5 schools with whom she has this interaction. And she has been doing a great job distributing our ideals or our goals to the young children. We want them to start thinking from that age. And we want them to know that we are always there for them, like Khalil Gibran said, that children are not your own, are not yours once they've grown. They have their own thoughts, their own personalities, and we have to give them scope. And we hope that this scope is given. And I saw yesterday that the gathering that she had, there were how many? I couldn't count the number of students. Of course, they were almost sitting on each other. And we had a very interesting function yesterday evening, all due to the hard work put in by our Rekha Shani and her team. She has young people helping her, and we are happy for them, for their help also. Now, we have also to thank the principals. We have also to thank our own chairman, Shivanandan, who was a former commissioner of police and a former DGP of Maharashtra, one of our very good officers, excellent officers. I remember once somebody stole my bag from my car by throwing some notes on the ground, which my driver went to pick up. And the fellow disappeared with that bag. When I came down, I had gone to see my brother. And my brother was a schizophrenic, so every Saturday I had to go and ensure that he's looked after. So I went to the local police station, and the inspector asked me to sit on his chair. I said, no, I'm no longer going to sit on that chair. You sit on your own chair. So he did that. And then he talked to me and he said, we are waiting for Shivanandan to become the commissioner. I was very touched by the inspector told me that we want good officers to lead us. And that is what the government does not do, unfortunately. They have their own reasons for selecting people, as you know. So We also thank Mr. Raja, our former chairman before Shivanandan. He was an IAS officer of impeccable integrity and commitment. And we were very happy to have him for 3 years as our chairman. Every 3 years, we would like to have some new blood, new thinking, new showing us the way, in a way. So we thank Mr. Raja for being here, for giving the opening address. We thank the principals of the colleges who have participated. Mrs. Vaishali Guru from Bala Saheb Apte College. I've known her for many years now because Bala Saheb Apte College was the one that we started with in the beginning. And and it is also close to where we operate from. In Dadar is not very far from us. And so thank you, Vaishali, for being with us and having a good word for us. And Dr. Viral Dave of the Khandivli Education Society. These students have been coming to us throughout the year. And this month also we have a whole, the whole interns batch is mainly from the KES college. We thank you, madam, for associating with us. Then Dr. Karuna Malviya of the D.Y. Patil Law School. And that D.Y. Patil Law School is also one that interacts with us on a yearly basis, sending us the students not only for the internship but for other purposes also. We have the law students who we like them to be the interns, whereas we have the NSS students who are also, they may not be interns as such, but they interact throughout the year with some project. This time they are doing a traffic project, and the persons who are financing it say that they would like the accidents to reduce in India, not only in Mumbai. They were happy with what we were doing in Mumbai, and they said, could you please escalate it and go to other parts? I think that would be a little difficult for us. We don't have the wherewithal. We don't have the staff for that. But I thought that it was something that they appreciated, made me happy. And we have Professor Vinita Nair, NSS Program Officer of St. Andrews College. Thank you, Professor. I have been to St. Andrews College on a couple of occasions. I knew the principal also earlier. Her nephew was my classmate in school. And that's how I came to know her. And then we have to thank all our lead ambassadors, all our campus ambassadors. We call them ambassadors to give them a sort of feeling that they are involved in some important work. And they are there with us, and what we have been able to do is to create new leaders for the future, because the responsibility they have in running the PCGT program in their own colleges. We do help them out if they don't have a proper speaker. We would try to help them out. But generally, they learn to do it themselves. And that is something that we are trying to inculcate in them. These qualities of leadership, of initiative, of pride in whatever they are doing. So these are the lead ambassadors campus. These are all Mr. Advocate Shivam Jain Kakadia's initiatives. He has really taken us to another level, and we are very grateful to him for that. He has been of great this to us. PCGT is becoming now known not only in Mumbai among the colleges, we are even going outside. And we have got students from BITS Pilani, we have got students from Ashoka University, and which other one?
CNU.
We?
Chanakya National. CNLU in Patna.
PNLU in Patna. I'm sorry, I don't know. Shivam knows much more about all these things, but I have to show that I too know. Otherwise, people won't believe me. So, thank you. There were 250 plus participants, Shivam has just pointed out, participants from all over India in this conclave. This is the third edition of the conclave. And we are very happy that more and more students are participating, and more will learn to be independent and useful to society. To give back to society and always help others. That is what we tell them, help others and be attentive to those who really need our attention. They might be very poor, but they need to show that they have got dignity and they have a life and that we are there for them because we are more fortunate. That doesn't mean that the unfortunate ones should just be neglected. We should not do that. These are things that we try to inculcate in these students. I'm thankful to all of you all for listening to me and learning what or trying to know what PCGT is trying to do. Otherwise, when we started, Mr. B.G. Deshmukh is the one who gave this name, Public Concern for Governance Trust. He is the one who thought about that because when he had learned that when he was on one of his visits to London. And he was one of those thinkers who used to be very active in trying to push what we were doing. Only thing is that the people who had to actually do the work are people like Shivam and others who are now, and our Vedant. I was like, Vedant was our intern also. And Vedant has now volunteered and he has been with us for last 2 years?
3 years.
Last 3 years, volunteering with us, doing whatever he can to ensure that PCGT's word is spread. Thank you, Vedant, for being with us. Thank you so much. I think I've spoken more than I should have, but still, that's it. Thank you, Justice Lokur. Once again, though I've never met you, sir, I see you on this form of meeting. Thank you. Justice
Thank you so much for your kind words, sir.
Justice Lokur is now on the UN's United Nations Committee and on their internal Justice Council. We are congratulated. We have already done that, but now today again, we have a chance to say how much we appreciate what he has done for the country. Thank you, Justice Lokur.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, sir. Finally, as we come to the conclusion of this event, I now invite Vedant, our Chief Student Ambassador, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much. Respected dignitaries, esteemed guests, panelists, faculty members, judges, participants, and organizing teams. As we conclude the third edition of this PCGT Conclave 2025, it is my honor and privilege to extend a formal vote of thanks on behalf of Public Concern for Governance Trust. Over the past 3 days, we have witnessed a thought-provoking discussions, intellectually stimulating competitions, and insightful deliberations that have made this conclave remarkable success. This achievement wouldn't have been possible without the support and contribution of various individuals and institutions. First and foremost, we express our sincere appreciation to our chief guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Madan B. Lokur, sir, for his inspiring key address on AI and ethics, and for sharing his wealth of knowledge on constitutional law, human rights, judicial integrity. His insights have added great value to our discussions on governance and technology and ethical responsibility. We express our deepest gratitude to Mr. D. Shivanandan, sir, Chairman PCGT, whose visionary leadership has gained this organization in its mission to uphold ethical governance, transparency, and justice. A heartfelt thanks to PCGT trustees for their unwavering support and commitment to fostering good governance. I would like to thank Padma Bhushan, Mr. J.F. Ribeiro sir, former DGP and former Ambassador of India to Romania and Chairman Emeritus of PCGT for his address. Mr. V.P. Raja sir, Trustee in Charge, retired IAS officer for his opening address. Ms. Rekha Shani ma'am, Trustee, for her esteemed presence in this session. Your dedication to empowering young minds and encouraging discussions on governance, ethics, and law has been invaluable. Gratitude. This conclave would not have been possible without collaboration of our partner institutions. We extend our sincere appreciation to D.Y. Patil School of Law, Navi Mumbai, and Honorable Director, Professor Dr. Karuna Malviya ma'am, for organizing the International Virtual Conference on Artificial Intelligence and Society, Shaping Ethical Horizons. Advocate Balasaheb Apte College of Law and its principal, Ms. Vaishali Gaurav ma'am, for successfully conducting the Model United Nations. KES Shri Jayantilal H. Patel Law College and Principal Dr. Viral Dave ma'am for hosting the Intercollegiate Debate Competition. St. Andrew's College, Bandra, and NSS Program Officer Ms. Vinita Nair for leading the essay writing competition. We Compose Juris Private Limited for their unwavering support in bridging legal education with practical learning and for playing a crucial role in organizing the various activities in this conclave. A special thanks to the judges who played a crucial role in evaluating and guiding our participants, the judges of Intercollegiate Debate Competition, Model United Nations Competition, judges of the paper presentation competitions. Your dedication to fostering intellectual growth among the students is deeply appreciated. We extend our gratitude to the faculty members, academic coordinators, teaching staff from all collaborating institutions. Your mentorship, guidance, and encouragement have helped us the success of this conclave. A special note of appreciation to the non-teaching staff, administrative staff, technical staff, support staff, personnel who work tirelessly behind the scenes to manage the logistic, registration, smooth execution of all the events. This conclave was made possible by the tireless efforts of campus ambassadors, lead ambassadors, interns, volunteers. Your enthusiasm, dedication, and commitment in assisting with the event promotion, registration, coordination, execution have been truly commendable. Your contributions reflect the spirit of PCGT mission and inspire future leaders in governance and law. A heartfelt thank you to the participants, speakers, and attendees for their active engagement, thoughtful discussions, and meaningful contributions throughout this conclave. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the man behind organizing everything at the grassroots level, Advocate Shivam Jain Kakadia sir, who has been leading all of us together. His relentless efforts, coordination, dedication have ensured seamless execution of this conclave, making it a great success. As we bring the third edition of PCGT Conclave 2025 to close, let us continue to engage in meaningful discussions, uphold ethical governance, and contribute to shaping the responsible society. On behalf of Public Concern for Governance Trust, I extend my sincere gratitude to everyone who played a vital role in making this conclave a great success. We look forward for future collaborations and continuing this journey of knowledge, ethics, and governance together. Thank you very much, everyone.
He speaks very well.
Yeah.
Finished?
Yes. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
everyone.
thank you,
Bye.
sir. We can end the
Thank
meeting.
you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
We can end the meeting now.
Yes.
Yeah. The meeting is ended.